We're excited to show you a closer look at EasyRx. EasyRx is a universal lab prescription, digital workflow, and 3D software for practices and labs. Let us show you how EasyRx helps practices and labs better manage the entire lab prescription process. EasyRx integrates with practice management software products, making your workflow seamless. Use the EasyRx Universal Lab Prescription Form to create all your lab, clear aligner, and digital prescriptions through one form. Submit cases to labs with traditional plaster models or impressions, or attach digital files directly to the prescription to send to your labs. With EasyRx, you can submit cases to your commercial labs or your in-house lab. We're going to focus on your clear aligner cases. We also integrate with 3D printers, which is becoming an integral component of in-house labs. While we could spend hours going over all the great aspects that make up EasyRx, in this video, we're going to focus on how EasyRx helps you better manage your clear aligner workflow. So let's get started. To start, the first thing that needs to be done is an EasyRx prescription needs to be created and submitted. For this example, I'm going to submit a case to ULab Systems. EasyRx integrates with ULab Systems to make clear aligner management and treatment planning easy. I'm going to click on Create Prescription to start the process. This loads the EasyRx Universal Lab Prescription Form, and I'm going to choose ULab Systems as a lab to send the case. If you're not already connected to the ULab Systems Connected Lab, you would go to the Labs menu option, which loads all EasyRx connected lab accounts, and I'm going to search ULab. ULab Systems is a connected lab, so you would choose to connect to this lab now. I'm already connected, so it says connected, but you'd choose Connect to Lab. That will send a connection request to ULab. The request is approved automatically, and once you're connected to ULab Systems, you can now submit a script to them. So now I'm just going to fill out the information about the prescription. I'm going to choose to send this case for Walter Jones. When I want the prescription back. If you're multi-doctor or multi-office, you can choose to assign the prescription as needed. You can track who took the scan and who is submitting the case. Now I'm going to create the prescription. EasyRx integrates with a number of practice management software products. So if you launched EasyRx from one of our practice management integration partners, patient information and next appointment is going to be filled out for you to save you a little bit of time filling that out. The information that's going to be transferred from EasyRx to ULab is the patient first and last name, any comments that are added to the prescription, and any original STL files attached to the prescription. In addition to this information, you're going to want to create an aligner prescription, which will enable the EasyRx aligner tracking system. I'll show you how that works a little later. Maybe this is a 3-to-3 case. I can choose 3-to-3. If you would like, you can fill out additional information on treatment goals. Remember, all of this is internal to the practice because you're the one doing the treatment planning. To simplify creating the prescription, EasyRx has templates, and you'll notice a couple of templates that I created for my ULab prescriptions. So if this patient is a ULite case, I would click Add the ULab template to this prescription. That's going to fill out the aligner prescription form and add any comments or special instructions that have been added on the template. So it's going to make it really fast and easy to create ULab prescriptions. Now let's go down and attach some STL files. You have a couple of choices. Number one, if you are an iTero user, more than likely you're going to enable the iTero integration in EasyRx. So you can just type in the case order ID from this patient's iTero scan, or if you don't know the iTero case order ID, you can click Lookup and Insert, and that's going to attach the case order ID for the patient, and EasyRx will process the integration and attach the upper and lower STL files to the prescription, and you don't have to do any work. If you're not using an iTero, that's perfectly okay. You're just going to want to attach your STL files from your intraoral scanner. So if you're using a Trios, Sirona, Carestream, or Plan Mecca, you can simply attach those files to the prescription. So I'm going to attach a couple of STL files to this prescription. I'm going to note Use Digital Model attached to the script. And I'm now going to sign and submit this prescription. This case has now been submitted to the ULab Systems Connected Lab account, and it's become available on your account in UDesign. A couple of points about how the integration works. This case has been submitted but will not be available for download in UDesign until the STL files are attached to the prescription. Now I have attached STL files, so if I went into UDesign right now, I could download the information from EasyRx in UDesign. If you've used the iTero integration, it does take 3 to 4 minutes for EasyRx to connect to myiTero.com, access the STL files, and attach them to the prescription. So if you're using the iTero integration, make sure you give it 3 to 4 minutes before going into UDesign to download the case. You don't have to remember, I wonder if the scan's downloaded when you go to UDesign and try to download the case. If the scans aren't available, the case doesn't download. Now at this point, you would use UDesign for your treatment planning. After you have done your treatment planning, you now know how many aligners are needed for the full treatment and how many are needed for the initial batch. You're going to want to come back to EasyRx to set up tracking on the aligners for this patient because now you have to manufacture the aligners. So I'm going to go to the aligner tracking dashboard, which shows all of the cases for the practice. Now I just want to work on the cases that I haven't set up the aligner tracking for. So I created a favorites view called Cases Needing Aligner Tracking Setup. I have 2 cases without aligner tracking setup. One of those is Walter Jones. So I'm going to click on aligner tracking, which opens up the EasyRx aligner tracking system. Now the plan that you had put together in your treatment planning system came out to 10 aligners for the upper and 6 for the lower, for a total of 16 aligners. And in this batch, I'm going to do 3 on the upper and 3 on the lower to get the patient started. My practice, I have a protocol to recommend changing trays every 7 days. 7 days times 3 aligners would be 21 days until the patient will be in the next stage. We anticipate delivering this batch on April 30th, and this was the needed by date on our prescription. April 30th plus 21 days in the stage, so Walter will finish the first stage on May 21st. Optionally, you can set a couple of reminders, such as when you want to print the next batch of aligners for Walter. I have a system default set up for my practice, which says that I want to be reminded 10 days before finish date of the previous batch. May 21 less 10 is May 11th. And then you can set a reminder to contact the patient and schedule a follow-up appointment. I have that set up in my system for 20 days before the finish date. So if May 21st is the finish date, I'll want to call Walter around May 1st to schedule his next appointment. After this initial batch, Walter is going to have 7 trays left on the upper and 3 trays left on the lower. So you can go ahead and set up the next batch if you know for sure what you want to do in the next batch. Or you can wait and come back in and decide that after the first batch. So now I set up total trays for Walter in the initial batch. I will go back into the aligner tracking system dashboard, and maybe I want to see all the cases this month that have not been printed. So I have 2 cases this month that have not been printed, Walter and Roger. A note on the batch column, if you have multiple batches for the same patient, you may see the patient listed multiple times for each batch. Okay to see the same patient multiple times with multiple batches. Once you have printed your batch, you can go over to the P column for printed and mark Walter's first batch as printed. And then when Walter comes in to pick up his aligners, you can go to the D column for delivered and mark the case as delivered to patient. So now you can differentiate which aligners you need to print and which aligners you need to deliver. EasyRx is going to help you track all that information on the aligner tracking dashboard using the EasyRx aligner tracking system. When you're viewing the aligner tracking system, you can also mark cases as printed and delivered from the screen. So you can mark cases in 2 places. And that's how EasyRx helps you submit, track, and manage your clear aligner cases. This is included in a premium subscription of EasyRx. So much for watching. If you have any questions about EasyRx or getting started with EasyRx, please feel free to give us a call or shoot us an email. We'd love to hear from you.